Welcome to AI Business Autopilot. Today we're building a competitive intelligence autopilot, a simple weekly system that tracks competitor moves, pricing changes, and feature drops, then turns those signals into decisions your team can act on. If you've ever found out about a competitor's new tier from a customer, or you missed a quiet price increase until a renewal went sideways, this is for you. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what to track, how to automate the capture and change detection, and how to deliver clean weekly updates to sales, product, and leadership. By autopilot, I don't mean spying or building a giant enterprise program. I mean a tight weekly loop that consistently answers three questions: what changed, why it matters, and what we do next. The system is simple: you monitor the sources that matter, detect changes automatically, summarize the delta with a bit of context, and then distribute the update where your team already works: Slack, email, Notion, or a CRM note. The biggest win is reliability. When competitive updates arrive on a predictable cadence, teams stop treating them like random trivia and start using them as inputs to decisions. Why weekly? Because competitors move faster than most teams notice. Pricing is a living system, and in one analysis sample, roughly 54% of SaaS products changed their price points over a year. On the product side, modern teams ship continuously. DORA benchmarks commonly describe high performers shipping anywhere from daily to weekly. If your competitors can ship this often, then a check once a quarter habit guarantees you'll be late. Weekly is the sweet spot. It's fast enough to catch real changes before they impact deals, and slow enough that your updates are digestible. If you have one or two direct threats, monitor those daily but keep your baseline cadence weekly. The biggest mistake in competitive intelligence is trying to track everything. Your autopilot works when it tracks a small, repeatable checklist of signals that reliably change. Start with pricing and packaging plans, limits, and add-ons. Then add changelogs and release notes for feature drops and deprecations. Watch messaging on the homepage and key landing pages, because positioning shifts often precede product changes. Finally, monitor distribution signals like app marketplaces and partnerships, plus social announcements and hiring. Job posts are surprisingly useful. They're public, frequent, and often reveal what a team is investing in right now. A good autopilot is modular. Separate capture, diffing, classification, summarization, and distribution, so you can improve each part without breaking everything else. Capture is just save the evidence, HTML snapshots, screenshots of key sections, RSS items, or API pulls. Then you diff against last week and classify the change: pricing, features, messaging, or something else. Only after you have a clean delta do you ask an AI model to summarize it and propose actions. This sequencing matters. If you summarize raw pages, you'll create noise. If you summarize diffs, you create clarity. Now let's talk sources. Your goal is not to scrape the entire internet. Your goal is to monitor a handful of public sources where real decisions show up. Pricing pages and FAQs reveal packaging changes. Changelogs and docs reveal feature drops and deprecations. Landing pages show messaging shifts and new use cases. Social channels reveal launches and customer proof. GitHub and documentation updates can signal integrations or API changes. And hiring pages can hint at where investment is going. Keep your sources ethical and public. If you can't explain your source in one sentence without feeling weird, don't automate it. Change detection is where most CI automations fail because the internet is noisy. Counters change, testimonials rotate, dates update, and your alerts explode. So focus on stable sections. For pricing, monitor the pricing table and FAQ blocks as screenshots. For text diffs, extract the main content and strip navigation and footers. Then add structured parsers for things that matter like prices, limits, SKUs, and plan names. Finally, filter obvious noise like timestamps, counters, and badge rotations. The goal is simple: when a human sees your alert, it should already look like a clean diff. For pricing, treat changes as structured events. Don't rely on screenshots alone. Store the competitor, plan name, the exact old and new values, the type of change increase, packaging shift, new limit, and a quick impact label. This turns "we saw something" into "we know what changed." And that unlocks automation. You can route high-impact changes to RevOps and sales, update a comparison doc, and flag open deals that match the affected segment. A good rule: if a pricing change impacts an active pipeline segment, your internal SLA should be 48 hours or less. Feature tracking isn't about collecting a long list of updates. It's about translating release notes into impact. For every notable drop, capture the category "new feature," "improvement," or "deprecation," then tag who benefits, which ICP, which persona, which segment. Add what it replaces in the workflow, and whether it's easy to copy or a deeper mode. Most importantly, write a 1 to 2 sentence talk track your team can use on calls. And add a simple impact score so you know what deserves attention now versus later. Next, positioning. This is where many teams get subjective: their website feels different. Instead, track claims. Watch for a new ICP, SMB to enterprise, new vertical pages, or stronger security and compliance language. Watch for a new outcome, category language changes, an AI-first narrative, or new ROI calculators. And watch for new proof, case studies, review badges, and partner logos. Positioning updates often tell you where product and go-to-market are heading next, which makes them some of the highest leverage weekly signals. The fastest way to kill a CI program is to blast everyone with everything. So route alerts based on who can act. Deal impacting pricing goes to sales with a short talk track and a list of affected deals. Feature drops and deprecations go to product, ideally with an "is this a gap" note. Positioning shifts go to marketing so messaging stays sharp. And big strategic moves, partnerships, category shifts, acquisitions go to leadership in a concise brief. The key is explicit urgency. Some alerts deserve 24 hours. Most deserve a weekly roll-up. Your autopilot should produce 2 things people actually use. First, a weekly brief short enough for Slack or email. 3 top changes, what they mean, and recommended actions. No essays. Second, a battle card. Not a 40-slide deck, a single page with when we lose, how we win, the objection talk track, and proof. The trick is that your battle card should update from the same weekly diffs. When the system produces a consistent record of changes, your enablement assets stop drifting out of date. Finally, give the system a tiny dashboard. You don't need a monster buy project. Start by tracking how many meaningful changes you captured each week, grouped by category, pricing, features, and positioning. Then add 3 operational metrics: how many alerts were sent, how many were high impact, and how many were actually actioned. If action stays low, you either have too much noise, unclear ownership, or the updates aren't tied to decisions. Fix that, and the autopilot becomes a compounding advantage. Before you automate anything, set ethical guardrails. Use public sources like websites, docs, press releases, and listings. Respect side terms where applicable, don't misrepresent who you are, and avoid collecting sensitive personal information. Store evidence and timestamps so you can audit your updates later. If you want to set this up in the next hour, here's the checklist: list your competitors, pick 10 key URLs, schedule weekly capture, add diffs and labels, and deliver a weekly brief to Slack. If this helped, subscribe to AI Business Autopilot for more systems like this: pricing monitors, lead gen agents, ops dashboards, and more.